Me.
It's all about you, isn't it?
Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of the Train of Thought podcast. You've only got me today. There's no James, unfortunately. Well, unfortunate for him, fortunate for me, I get to steal the spotlight. Unfortunate for you, the funny one's not here. So you're just going to have to deal with it. Too bad. I've got a few clips I've made of unheard footage, really. Tara is a podcast. Footage. Unheard clips from previous episodes, but also from a trial recording James and I did a few weeks ago, which we didn't really intend to put out. At max, we were going to cut some of it to use as a trailer, but having listened to it back, there's actually a fairly decent conversation in there. So I'll whack that in to this episode as well. But I have to preface by saying that was before we somewhat knew what we were doing, because let's be real, winging it, professional amateurs is my code word at the moment. So yeah, I'll preface by saying the recording quality is not quite as good as it has been on the last episode, but it's still decent. So you've got me for today for a short while.
This is Warren Street. Change here for the north.
On the subject of professional amateurs, as a guise for just not knowing what I'm doing, just read something about Emma Watson saying that turning 30s put a lot of pressure on her personal life, and that she's not in fact single, she is self-partnered. If that is not the biggest BS way of just lying that you're single, like just pretending like, oh no, I'm not having a bad love life, I chose this way, I'm self-partnered, that's just such bull. You can be single and be happy, but just say that. Why do you need to be like, oh no, I'm self-partnered, oh no, I'm married to me, I'm focusing on myself right now. Mate, you're single, like, just say that. But that also reminds me, a little callback to episode 1 when we talked about Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow when they broke up and they quote unquote consciously uncoupled. Again, what is it something with celebrities? Is it a sign of people in sort of their 30s these days that just want to sound original? Or are we just really embarrassed to admit the truth instead of just saying, oh yeah, it didn't work out, we broke up? You have to use an entirely new phrase and tell people that you've consciously uncoupled. But imagine if that just applied to any other part of life. Like, no, officer, I'm not breaking the law. I'm a commander of my own judgment. You can arrest me all you like, but I'm a free spirit. I'm a commander of my own judgment, sir. You can't use that. You can't get away with that. Likewise, if I ever burn food, I haven't burnt it. It's just extra crispy. Okay, that's what you tell people. I work in a kitchen. I know. You just tell people it's extra crispy. And if they question it, you can just say that it's a new kind of gastronomy that Heston Blumenthal came up with, and you're free to go. Okay? Alternative facts, not lies. I don't lie. I never lie. I'm going to build that wall. It's going to be huge. I never lie. Speaking of decrepit old men, a conservative radio host who compared the term boomer to the N-word in a tweet has been widely mocked online and was even the target of a thinly veiled swipe from dictionary.com. I'm reading this from the internet. The internet? I am reading it from the internet. I'm reading it from independent.co.uk, so don't sue me, even though there is absolutely no chance anyone of status will be listening to this podcast, but whatever. We love our fans. This guy who is called Bob Lonsbury and works for Wham Radio in Rochester, New York. He put a tweet out. I haven't found the original tweet, which is really annoying because I saw it myself literally just a few days ago and now I can't find it. I say that and I've just immediately found it. Hooray. He said, boomer, in quotation marks, as if it's a made-up word. Boomer is the N-word of ageism. Being hip and flip. Being hip and flip. I can't. Being hip and flip does not make bigotry okay, nor is a derisive. How the fuck do you say this word? Epithet? Wow, I'm gonna have to Google that. Okay, so he said, nor is being acceptable because it is new. A derisive epithet. I think that means a term that derives from another term. I don't know. I'm Googling it right now. Let's find out how to say this. It is epithet. Cool. It means an adjective or phrase expressing a quality or attribute regarded as characteristic of the person or thing mentioned. Okay. A byname, a descriptive term. Right, so it's like an adjective. Cool. So he said, being hip and flip does not make bigotry okay. Nor is a derisive adjective acceptable because it is new. Does this guy not realise the word boomer already existed? Does he not realise we didn't make up the word boomer? Does he not realise? I mean, he looks like a 50-year-old man. I've already established I have the internet open in front of me. But I'm too lazy to Google how old he is. But he looks like he's old enough. Does he not realise that baby boomers, that's the actual name of the generation? They're called the baby boomer generation. Like, millennials and Gen Z haven't just hopped on Twitter and be like, guys, I just came up with this cool new word. That's what you're called. That's what it's called. To say it's the N-word of ageism. And it's a derisive epithet because, and it's acceptable because it's new. What are you on about, lad? And I mean, anyone that uses the phrase being hip and flip, I'm sorry, I'm going on record. I'm going on record. If you say being hip and flip, you deserve to be called a boomer. Like, you've just held your hands up. You might as well have just walked out into the street and said, I am 53 years old. I am 53. Because going on Twitter and writing being hip and flip has done the exact same job, okay? And what an idiot. The way that he decides to tell this to the world is through the medium of social media. Why the hell would you go on Twitter and accuse young people of being ageist? Why the hell would you do that? All that's happened now, I'm assuming he's deleted this tweet because if he hasn't, he's a fucking idiot, but all that has happened is he's got thousands of people replying back, okay boomer, okay boomer, okay boomer, and it started a whole thread of memes, quotes and screen caps of people just mocking it. And there was another guy, what's his name? Okay, I can't find it. There's another guy who was on this panel. It's here. John Mulaney. He said, if you're comparing the badness of two words and you can't even say one of them, that's the worst word. That says it all, really. That sums it up. The boomer is as bad as the N-word. Mate, you can't even say the N-word. We have to call it the N-word. It's that bad. Boomer is the actual name of your generation. That would be like university students being up in arms about boomers calling them graduates when that's what they are. It just wouldn't make sense. Boomer is the N-word of ageism. What are you on about? Anyway, I found a couple of responses to this that have absolutely cracked me up. I had no idea. Time magazine did a cover in... Can I see what this is? This might be a fake cover. Probably shouldn't use Reddit as my source of information. It looks like it says 2013. May 20th, 2013. A Time magazine cover that says, the me generation, millennials, entitled narcissists who still live with their parents, why they'll save us all. And it's got a cover of a teenage girl or early 20-year-old woman lying on her front with her arm up in the air taking a selfie. The me generation, lazy, entitled narcissists who still live with their parents. We could really break that down. We could really unpack that and talk about how most of us these days we're probably working the same, if not more hours, or at least working more hours across several jobs, like several 0-hour contracts, and you're doing 20 hours here, 10 hours there, 15 hours over here. But to call millennials lazy, entitled narcissists, every time I hear this phrase, all I think is, who are our parents though? How did we get this way? Who raised us? Okay, boomer. Because what a dumb way to try and turn it around. Entitled narcissists who still live with their parents. Cool. If you want to build me a house that I can afford, I'm not going to stop you. Apparently, we're lazy, so clearly we can't build the homes. You want to hop down to the construction yard, grab some bricks, grab some mortar, whip up a home real quick, nice and sharp, quick and snappy. I'll move in. But you're not doing that, are ya? Okay, boomer. Right then. It's just so stupid. And the whole argument of like, how we're narcissists for taking selfies. Okay, so Polaroids didn't exist. You really want to tell me that if you could travel back in time and hand a teenager of the 70s an iPhone 10 and you gave them that Face ID, I don't have an iPhone 10, I don't know what the fucking thing is called, the Face ID thingy where you can make like an emoji move with your face, are you telling me they wouldn't sit there entertained for like, first, they would sit there entertained for so long, they would be sat in the same place playing around, and we'd be back in 2019 before they were like, well, that was fun. Don't lie, boomers. If they had the same technology back then that we have now, if they had social media on the same scale that we have now, and it was around you constantly, and you grew up into it, you 100% would do the exact same thing. But, of course, someone's got to be blamed. And it's so much easier to point the finger at young people for being self-entitled during the phase of our lives where you're learning about yourself and, let's be real, just being comfortable with who you are and what you look like and who your friends are. So, of course, engaging in social media and being a little bit of a narcissist kind of comes part and parcel with that. But more to the point, again, with us being lazy, entitled, and living at home because we don't do anything, as far as I'm aware, I didn't write the code for iOS 13 in my sleep. Sure didn't, because it fucked up my phone. Side note, anybody that has not heard back from me in the past week and a half, my phone's fucked. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I didn't write the blueprints for a Samsung Galaxy 10. I didn't coin the code in the development that created Instagram. You lot did it. And I certainly didn't come up with the algorithm in the tech that led to endless scrolling, which, by the way, I can't remember the guy's name because I'm shit with facts and statistics, as we learned from episode 2. That was an absolute shit show, and I apologise because I got everything wrong, but I'll come back to that. The guy that created endless scrolling has made a killing because practically every social media thing that we use now utilizes endless scrolling. I'm pretty sure even Google search, I'm sure when you search on Google, it used to come up with, I'm just going to search something random. Maybe it still does. Oh no, it still does. It does that Google thing at the bottom, and then each O is like a page. But I have seen, at least on Google Mobile, it doesn't do that anymore. It just has endless scrolling. Facebook newsfeed, Instagram feed, Twitter newsfeed, they don't stop. The page just refreshes and it gets longer and longer, and it's designed that way to keep you on the website so that you don't click away, because they're making money from ads, they're making money from you engaging, they're making money from having more content on the site and driving up user numbers and profile clicks, etc., etc. And who came up with that? Certainly wasn't millennials, okay? So sick and tired of getting the blame. But anyway, also the phrase "okay boomer," are you really that shook about okay boomer. These are the same people that are like, you should be grateful for everything that's handed to you. Our parents fought in the war, blah, 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 so that you could live a healthy and happy, comfortable lifestyle that you live now. Okay, boomer. And then they're like up in arms, having a heart attack. I just don't get it. So this one guy says, how did baby boomers get college for the price of a McChicken and still end up the dumbest fucking people on the planet? Sorry, millennials, but we built this fucking planet. All the shit you love, built by boomers. Your internet, you can't do without boomers. Your fast food, you can't go without fucking boomers. All your technology, boomers. All your drugs, boomers. See, I was in agreement with that up until all your technology. Drugs have been around for centuries, mate. Since the dawn of human beings on this planet, people have been looking for another way to get high, but whatever. You millennials, this is written poorly, think you own it. You own shit. You've invented nothing and can't back up what you say with action. Quote, we're gonna start a revolution. Pfft, you can't even start a fucking lawnmower. Fuck off, grow up, then come back and apologise. Okay, boomer. Oh my god. That was wild. The grammar in that was awful also, and the spelling is terrible. There are so many ellipses, and every single time they've used an exclamation point, they've put like two or three at every single point. So there we go. We've heard it from random Facebook user 01. We haven't done shit. Boomers made all our drugs. We don't own anything. We need to fuck off. We need to grow up, and then we need to come back and apologise. So this has been a PSA. I'm out. Got to fuck off. Got to grow up. I'll come back and apologise. Okay, I'll be real. I had no real plan for this episode because it's very lastminute.com, and I thought I could recap on some stuff that happened in the news or happened to me this week, but let's be real. The news has been dominated by Grenfell and Brexit as always, and the whole general election thing. So all I'm going to say in regards to that is, if you're not registered to vote already, get on that. Sort that out ASAP. And I'm not going to delve into anything else because that's far too deep and I don't want to talk about it. Okay. So, as I said earlier, I'm terrible with facts, statistics, numbers, blah, 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 blah. And on episode 2, I have to give a genuine apology for pretty much everything I said, because I went back, when I was editing it back, I realised how many things I said were just completely wrong. So you're back again. It's not correction corner because I'm not in the corner. I'm actually at home recording this one as well. So if it sounds a little noisy, you can probably hear the mouse clicks and whatnot and me typing on the keyboard, but keeping it real. The metaphorical correction corner. So I said a lot of stuff about KSI, let's be real. Take a shot every time I say let's be real. That's stuck in my head. I said that I thought he was the first British millionaire from YouTube. Do not know where I got that from. I don't actually know who the first British millionaire is from YouTube. I think what I was thinking at the time was first British YouTuber to hit 1 million subs. I don't know why I thought it was KSI. I just remember reading an article about him a few years ago about how he'd broken some record, and I kind of put 2 and 2 together and thought that was him. Ironically, spoke about Charlie Is So Cool Like, and I realised as soon as I mentioned Charlie Is So Cool Like, I was like, oh no, he's the one. So I was right, but I'd already said, I was right about Charlie, but I had already said it was KSI, so I was like, I'm not going to back down, I'll just pretend and wing it and get away with it. But I'm going to just own up. So it was actually Charlie Is So Cool Like. He was the first one to get 1 million subs in the UK. And he was only 19, I think, at the time. That was back in 2011. So can you imagine how big he would have been on the platform back then? Because these days, people go from several 100,000 to 1 million within a year. There's so many of us using YouTube now, and the whole idea of subscribers and ad revenue, like more of us are aware of how the partnership program works, and more of us are aware of supporting content creators and how it can lead to a job. But in 2011, the idea of it being a job wasn't quite the common thing. It really was more for fun. So for him to be 19, to be the first person in the UK, and he was leading with like most views and blah blah blah, back when YouTube channels used to have these little medals that tell you the stats. He was like most viewed UK, most subscribed UK all time at 19. And then yeah, as I said in the previous episode, he did kind of disappear for a while. I thought he was going to study film. It was half right. He was going. He took time off YouTube because he was writing a short film, which then went on YouTube, obviously. But he kind of was on and off during that time. And then he vanished for a couple of years, came back, and he's now doing something called fun science, or was doing something called fun science, which I suppose is more his passion as he's gotten older. He's probably, well, if he was 20 in 2012, I said that the wrong way. So what is he now, like 27? That's crazy. 27, he's only 4 years older. Jesus. Anyway, so that was a correction to fix. I also said, I don't know, I said some other stuff about KSI that's probably all wrong. Oh, I said that he had 4 Comic-Con videos up. He didn't. I believe he did 1 Comic-Con video, and then there was so much backlash that Comic-Con actually banned him from returning. I think what I had seen were 2 or 3 of those types of videos where he interviewed people on the street and he was being very creepy, but he called it something else. It was called Being Awkward with Strangers, and I think he was in a shopping centre. And then I must have seen another like commentary YouTuber who did a reaction video or something along those lines. And yeah, I watched these videos several years ago, and I think just trying to recall what they were called and what they were about, I mistakenly thought it was 4 separate videos, but it wasn't. It was like 2 or 3. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for Correction Corner this week. Tune in next week when I've probably gonna find out that generation is not even called boomers, and I've just got all of the first part of this wrong, and Emma Watson never even said that she is self-partnered. Everything's just gonna be wrong. Just cancel me. You can just cancel culture. Just claim me, swallow me up, take me into the shadow realm. It's cool. I'll go freely.
Customer service update. There is good service on all lines.
Thank you for listening this far, if you've made it this far. And I'm going to sign out here. I'm going to leave you with some clips from our previous episodes and a large chunk of the tester episode, the trial recording that James and I did. And we had a little chat about the chicken shop boxes that the government rolled out. If that's not a headline, the anti-knife crime chicken shop boxes that the government rolled out a couple of months ago. We had a little chat about that, and in typical fashion got very derailed. Drink. So thank you for listening, as I said, and apologies for the lack of an episode last week. We were both pretty busy. Me in particular, actually. If you follow us on Facebook, you'll know that I was up in Manchester, going head to head against Jenny from Coronation Street. It was a really, really close call, really tough match. I reckon I could have knocked her out if we went into the third, but the ref called it off, so what can you do, you know? We'll be back next year. Back in LA, I reckon. We'll do professional this time. We'll get Eddie Hearn on board. Shannon Briggs will be there. Let's go, champ.
This is the Victoria Line train to Seven Sisters.
Hang on. There's too many wires here. I'm like, I'm plugged into the national grid.
Untangled them.
What is happening here? Where is this going?
That behind your head.
Oh, hang on.
That's clamped to the desk.
Oh, that's attached.
Turn them around. Can you put the left ear on the right instead? Put the silver bit behind your head. It'd be good. Welcome to episode 2.
No, it's not how we're starting it. Hang on. Hold.
I feel
Out of context, this all sounds very good.
I know.
I'm kind of strangling myself now with the wire. Hang on.
I think they call that auto asphyxiation.
Wow.
I know that from BoJack Horseman. How bad is that?
Other shows are available. Are we?
And you, if you can please talk.
I've been more intimate with this mic than I have been with any girl recently.
So that's looking quite good there.
Oh no, it's not on the Love Life. It's not. No.
Wow, you're really loud.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's probably why it's not going well on the Love Life.
But you're also very crystal clear. So
Well,
I think
pros and cons.
we're ready to go, James. I think we're ready to go.
This has been a roller coaster.
It has. I want to change the zoom on here. So,
Welcome to Tech with Tara.
welcome to Tech with Tara Pavels.
You could have a
Episode
little branch off.
1.
You could have a little branch off podcast with that.
I'm actually just realising now that the bars are here, so we can push it a little bit further than we were. My voice still sounds like an alien. What did you have for breakfast this morning, James?
I'm not going to shout it again.
Yell at me.
Last time I answered this question, I got in trouble. So.
That's a fucking Weetabix!
Oh my god, it was amazing. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, levels are sorted. And that's also a preview into clipping. We've
Tech with Tara.
Tech with Tara. We've just learnt our lesson.
There we
Don't
go.
ask James about Weetabix.
Don't ask me.
Yelled at.
Don't ask me what I learned because I wasn't.
That wasn't on the cards anyway. Have you heard about the government's new chicken shop box anti-knife crime scheme?
I haven't, but I really want to now.
I know. Do you want some chicken or do you want to hear about the boxes?
I'll let you. You know what comes first, chicken or the egg? You know,
Deep questions.
chicken or the box. I'll let you go there. It's your lead. It's your story.
Welcome to Deep Psychology with Tara Barber.
How many branch off podcasts have you got?
Got stacks on stacks. Okay, so I'll read you. I will read you a little snippet from
Okay.
BBC News.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Chicken boxes featuring warnings about the dangers of carrying a knife have been sent to takeaways in England and Wales as part of a government campaign.
I did hear about this. I lied. I didn't realise
You're a
that.
fucking liar.
I didn't realise I
You're
heard
a
about this.
fucking liar.
Yeah.
More than 321,000 boxes will replace standard packaging at outlets including Chicken Cottage, blah, 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 blah. Basically just a shit ton of chicken shops
Okay.
in England and Wales. And the general idea of it is that they looked at where the 16 to 25-year-olds congregate, and apparently it's chicken shops. That's what the youth are doing these days.
I thought KFC ran out of chicken.
They're all stabbing each other and eating chicken wings. That's what they're doing.
Which one first, though?
So I had the absolute pleasure of being very, very drunk on Friday night.
I'm not
which,
surprised.
of course, in typical British
Sorry, I
tradition.
got distracted there. When you said stabbing and eating chicken, I got the idea that they were eating the chicken first and they were just like eating it down to the bone to make it into a weapon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
go out and stab instead of
Just use
using
your
knives.
teeth. It's just gnawing away
Not
at
to
the
give
bone.
anyone any ideas, you know.
You
But
can make your own shank out of a
yeah,
chicken wing.
I've watched too much Prison Break.
What do
Carry
you
on.
use the wishbone for?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, on Friday night we went to a cheap, greasy chicken shop.
Oh, wait, way to build it up.
Post
yeah.
pub. Oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
Number one on TripAdvisor, as
What
expected.
was it called?
I'm not going to name them.
No,
Don't
not
wanna-
after that.
Don't want
Not
to
after
dox
that
them.
review.
The
Yeah.
horrible, greasy, fatty chicken shop.
I just really wanted the chance to say other chicken shops are available.
Other chicken shops are available.
Because then I feel like I made it.
So I had the pleasure of seeing one of these horrible knife-free crime boxes up close.
I thought you were going to say you saw a stabbing. I was like, oh my god, this is dark,
no, it's
man.
not that.
Yeah.
What? Typical British Friday tradition. Got pissed. Saw someone got
That's
stabbed.
where this was going. I was like, oh god.
So, I saw one of these boxes up close, and it made me realise how stupid this idea is. Because, honest to God, yeah, okay, 16 to 25-year-olds probably go to chicken shops more than the average person, but it's not like a chill-out spot.
No, I wouldn't.
It's not like, oh, you're free on Friday. You can go for
Go to the
coffee.
chicken shop.
Let's get some spicy wings, 3 for £1.
Yeah.
So
My kind of girl.
I saw a few people, not everyone got one of the boxes, but the odd person did, and they were barely able to stand up straight, let alone acknowledge
Yeah.
hashtag knife free in this
Yeah.
morbid all black box. That's what it looks like. It's a completely black box.
Yeah.
Hashtag knife free written in white on the top. And then when you open up the lid, there's a picture inside of someone who's somehow got a real life story related to knife crime and a segment of like how they fucked up.
Imagine finding that in your Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Giving that to your kid, and then
Oh, what toy have you got?
Yeah.
It's a story about Sarah, 19, who was stabbed to death in East London.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Timmy, I just,
Yeah.
Toy Story 4? No?
Teach
no
'em
Buzz
young.
Lightyear? Got a bulletproof vest, Mum. I just think it's ridiculous.
Got a blunt knife.
It's child friendly.
I mean, that's going to put Chicken Connoisseur. That's made him a video straight away.
Oh, he's commented.
Has he?
There is a BBC response from the Chicken Connoisseur.
Oh. Well, if anyone was going to respond.
Exactly. I mean, he's your man.
Yeah.
It's as close as you can get to the Colonel.
Apart from Colonel Saunders, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He said... Oh, wait, I can't find it now. I did do the research, folks.
God. I apologise for the unprofessionalism, but you have to get used to that.
So, Elijah Quashi, better known as Chicken Connoisseur, told BBC's Wake Up to Money that the approach was too simplistic to solve a complex problem. Because some people claim that the chicken shop boxes are a racist stereotype, given that there's a pretty big stereotype about knife crime being committed by young black boys.
Yeah, well, is it chicken shops in the London area, you said?
No, it's in England and Wales.
I mean, okay, because I thought they'd like focused on the specific area.
No,
I was like, that is a bit.
If you want to talk about specific areas, did you know that Croydon is home to the largest number of chicken shops per capita in England?
There we go.
Big up Croydon. It's pretty much all we've got going, but
They'll put that on the banner.
besides the Going Off Track podcast.
Of course. Don't give our location away. Like straight in giving away the location.
This won't make the cut, it's fine.
Yeah, she's bluffing, it's fine.
The thing that bothers me is just the classist aspect of that. It's like all these poor young children running around with nothing better to do. Yeah. We'll target them in the chicken shops.
That's ridiculous.
We'll
in
hang them up
2019,
with their greasy little fingers.
In 2019, in the year of the vegan, and they're targeting chicken shops.
You want to get down to the farmers market,
Yeah,
mate.
what are they doing?
Hop down to East London, Brick Lane. There you go, Falafel King. That's where you want to target the knife.
So is this carrying on then? Is they sticking with it? Like,
yeah, they've just started rolling it out. They did a trial somewhere in London last year, I believe, and then they've decided to roll it out sort of nationwide.
Well, they got the bank involved.
But there are other banks. And
other banks are available. Finally,
building societies are available.
If this was like the early days of Twitter, if Twitter had just come out and they were doing this, it would kind of make sense because then it'd take you to Twitter to the hashtag. But it doesn't. Yeah, I just find it weird.
It just seems like one of those really out of touch board meetings.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it probably was. Yeah,
a 56-year-old man with like grey hair. He's like, guys, you know what the kids are doing these days? They're eating chicken.
I can imagine, like in the Simpsons movie when you got like the Arnold Schwarzenegger guy that's president. He's like, option 3, what, the chicken shop? Yeah, geez, that'll do. That's fine.
I was elected to lead.
Yeah,
not to read.
Not to read. Number 3. But that wasn't never a joke. Now we got to put the chicken shop on. Oh no! What else is going on?
What else is going on? What's going on with you?
Not a lot. Start the podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Can you hear beeping?
I think someone's trying to get in. Oh, see, it's because you gave our location away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the room after you, so I think it's just let me into it.
Oh, okay.
You guys, you're done at 4.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens when you give our location away. Straight away. People walking in. That is early. Yeah, I know.
Been walked in on at like 58 or 59. But like,
what are we talking about? Are we talking about studio or are we talking about private life?
No.
Oh.
Saying that actually.
Oh.
Here's a funny anecdote for everybody.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a stranger walked in on me in a public restroom.
Is that really walking in if it's a public restroom?
Well, I wasn't just squatting in the middle of a shop.
Well, you know.
I mean, I was using the toilet in an art gallery because I'm cultured like that.
Sure.
You see.
Yeah. Didn't happen at the year award.
the lock on the door didn't slide across properly, and I slid it across, and it wasn't really going all the way through. And then I wobbled the door a little bit to check that it was shut, and it seemed sturdy enough.
Yeah.
and I was still in a slight state of panic, so I tried to
It
pee.
wasn't the same guy, was it? 'Cause that'd be weird.
I tried to pee like as quickly as I could.
Yeah.
And then I heard a noise. I looked up, and a woman opened the door, went, "Oh!" and then shut the door again, and I was just fully exposed, and had to sort of awkwardly waddle with my trousers around my ankles
around the rest of the gallery. Well, you felt you had to just commit at that point.
Gotta commit.
Yeah. No, I wasn't peeing. I just dressed like this. Yeah.
Oh no, this is the style these days. Yeah, I had to sort of waddle with my trousers around my ankles to lock it all the way and like really slam the lock and make sure it's shut that time. But yeah, that
There's a story for the grandkids.
that threw me off.
Yeah.
Got to buy me a drink first, love. Come on, 2019.
There you go.
Take me out for dinner. Come on.
Not the
treat a
chicken
girl.
shop though, because just to go full circle.
It's got talking points.
Yeah.
That should be a new thing.
What?
Restaurants should just start putting stuff like on the when you finish your food,
Yeah.
printed on the plate underneath. It's just a political story.
Oh, you know what it should
Discuss.
be? I'll tell you what it should be. Genius idea. It should be the bill. And then you would have to ask for it. That's exactly what it should be. They should print that on the plate, what the bill is. Then when you finish, you can read it.
You need to trademark that.
Yeah. Although you have to finish your
Patent
food.
pending.
You have to finish your food, though. That's the only downside of it.
Well, does that mean that if I eat 95% of my food and then just walk out, I can claim I didn't see the bill?
Or, like, the bill is all over the plate, so just eat, like, half your food. So work out where the drink is on the bill, which is on the bottom half of the plate. So just eat what's on that half of the plate and then pay that.
Strategically.
You pay for what you see.
Strategically leave like a little bit of bolognese just covering up
Yeah.
the £19.
Definitely.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think there's an idea in there. I might quit the pod and pursue that.
Do what you like, mate. Do what you like.
I might. Put a hashtag on it. Ready to go.
You've got black boxes in the ready.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Victoria Line platform. Call accepted.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't like about episode 1.
What? Me?
Yeah, there is that, but beggars can't be choosers. I could hear myself laugh.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we were giggly last week
Oh, yeah.
because it was a long
It
day.
was late
I've
as
been to
well.
the football. Palace had actually won. Things like that. Yeah. But I didn't like it, so gonna try and be a bit moodier and not laugh.
Have you seen that Key and Peele sketch?
Yeah. Moving on.
Have you seen the one of like, it's like Kevin doesn't laugh or something? I
Is
can't
that the
remember
one
name.
where Kevin doesn't laugh?
It is that one.
Yeah, it wasn't very
You
funny.
know,
I didn't
yeah.
laugh either. No, I haven't seen it. I'm joking.
I'm very concerned by how smooth your voice sounds compared to my own, and I don't know.
No, and you know what it is? It's the fact that I would be saying the same thing if I could hear my voice.
No, but I
'Cause
think
you
it's
sound
the
great to
mic.
me.
I think it's the mic. Yeah, but you're not hearing it through that. You're just hearing my voice.
That's what I'm thinking it is. That's what I'm thinking. Like, because I think I sound fine, but if I heard myself, I'd hate it.
No, but you in my earphones and you in this ear right now sound the same. I sound really
Do you want to swap? See what it sounds like? Do
grainy.
you want to swap? See if I get the same experience. Yeah, been promoted. Let's do it.
I need something of relevance to say as well.
Because I hear my own voice.
What's up, London? Welcome to the Going Off Track podcast.
Right, so you sound great, and I sound horrible.
You see what I mean?
Wow, we need
It
to buy a
sounds
new
really
mic.
bad.
Yeah. No, you sound great. I really want to hear the
That's
Yorkshire
'cause
accent in this.
What do you want me to say, lad?
Just if I shut my eyes, it's just it's
Stuck him in the Yorkshire Dale.
I'm watching Emmerdale. Yeah. How do you feel sitting there, talking into that mic?
I like this height.
I prefer sitting
I
here.
feel like I'm being interviewed.
Yeah, I prefer sitting
I
here.
feel like I'm
holding
the
mic.
star. I feel like I'm the star.
Oh, see, I feel like I'm the star sat
That
here.
sounds really smooth.
This feeds both our egos sat here, so it's like, yeah.
I'm literally on a pedestal. He's literally put a woman on a
Yeah.
pedestal.
Well, I just, political
Out here.
statement of this podcast.
Out here respecting women.
Out here
bloods.
respecting women.
Out here respecting women.
I feel much more comfortable holding this microphone and talking. If you're happy with this setup.
I feel like you have got the geezer lean on.
I've got the geezer lean, yeah.
See, for the
Yeah.
listeners,
I'm a
James
proper
has adopted
geezer.
the slouch shoulder. Oh,
Yeah.
the arm's gone back.
The arm's gone back.
The arm's gone back.
I'm kind of semi-dropped the mic as well.
Got his feet crossed.
I've kind of semi-dropped
The wrist
mic.
is relaxed.
Yeah. The chair. I'm
It's
going
in
to
his
fall back
element.
on this chair. I'm so chilled. Yeah.
If you hear a bump in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Done it. Anyone still listening? That was episode 2.
How long are we? How far in are we?
We're well in the shit. I don't know.
On the-
We're an hour and 14 minutes.
Ah,
I'm
that's
really
good.
sorry about that, everyone.
No, because we're going to cut. There's going to be like a
We're
good
going to
10
cut like an
minutes
hour of
out
that. Yeah. We literally should go.
It's just going to be 5 minutes of Let's Go
Let's
Jam.
Go Jam. And then don't title it that. Let's have a different title. Just still put KSI Logan Paul in the
The
title.
danger of carrots.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man.
Let's do our little outro bit then.
Let's go, champ.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you for listening. This is it. We've come to the end of the episode. This train terminates here. So we'll be back. And I mean it this time, not like last time. We will be back next week. And it won't just be me. We'll have another co-host. And we might have a special guest. We're working on it. It's on the cards. We'll be back next week with a new episode. And thank you for all of the really good feedback, like all of the really nice words that people have sent me or told us about how you're enjoying the pod so far. It means a lot. So thank you for sticking around. Sorry this episode's been a bit of waffle, but you get to hear the silky smooth, not very smooth, croaky ass voice of me. And until next time, bye-bye.
You definitely have the voice of radio as well.
No, it's
You
this
do. And the
microphone.
face, but I didn't want to.